Loke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto title.
No,
Status
won't fit in
quo.
your car. Adu.
And the chapter is
I have
16.
5 of us, including my mother.
Chapter title.
Prabhu, can you mute? Okay, Haribol.
Chapter 16, titled The Two Doorkeepers of Bharat, Jaya and Vijay, cursed by the sages. And the verse number on this day of Ganesh Chaturthi is verse number 22. Dharmasya te bhagavatri yuga tribhishvai padvi characharam idadvija devata Anvritam tatabhika rajastamascha svatvena varadaya tanuva nirasya dharmasya te bhagavastri yuga tribhishve padvischaracharamidam dvijadeva tadartham nyunam vritam tadabhati rajastamascha satvena varadayatan uva nirasva dasyate bhagavastri yuga tribhisvi padvi characharamidam dvijadevatartham nunam vritam tad abhigati trajastamascha satvena varadaya tanuva nirasva. Synonyms: Dharmasya, of the personification of all religion, Te, of you, Bhagavata, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Triyuga, you who are manifest in all 3 millenniums, Tribhivi, by 3, Swai, your own, Padvi, feet, Characharam, animate and inanimate, Idam, the universe, Dvija, twice born, Devata, demigods, Artham, sake of, Nyunam, however, Vritam, protect, Tad, whose feet, Abhighati, destroying, Raja, the mode of passion, Tad, the mode of ignorance, Cha, and Satvena, of pure goodness, Na, unto you, Varadaya, bestowing blessings, Tanuva, by the transcendental form, Nirasya, driving away. Translation by His Divine Grace, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Lord, you are the personification of all religion. Therefore, you manifest yourself in 3 millenniums, and thus you protect this universe, which consists of animate and inanimate beings. By your grace, which is of pure goodness and is the bestower of all blessings, kindly drive away the elements of Raja and Tamas for the sake of the demigods and twice born. The Lord is addressed in the verse as Triyuga, or one who appears in 3 millenniums, namely the Satya, Dwapara, and Treta Yugas. He is mentioned as appearing in the 4th millennium or Kali Yuga. It is described in Vedic literature that in Kali Yuga he comes as Channavata, or an incarnation, but he doesn't appear as a manifest incarnation. In the other yugas, however, Lord is a manifest incarnation, and therefore is addressed as Triyuga, or Lord who appears in 3 yugas. Sridhara Swami describes Triyuga as follows: Yuga means couple and 3 means 3. The Lord is manifested as 3 couples by his 6 opulences, or 3 couples of opulences. In that way, he can be addressed as Triyuga. The Lord is the personality of religious principles. In 3 millenniums, religious principles are protected in 3 kinds of spiritual culture, namely austerity, cleanliness, and mercy. The Lord is called Triyuga in that way too. In the age of Kali, these 3 requisites to spiritual culture are almost important. But the Lord is so kind that in Kali Yugas, being devoid of these 3 spiritual qualities, he comes and protects the people in this age in his covered incarnation as Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is called covered because although he is Krishna himself, he presents himself as the devotee of Krishna, not directly Krishna. The devotees pray to Lord Chaitanya, therefore, to eliminate the spark of passion and growth, the most conspicuous assets of this yuga. In the Krishna consciousness movement, one cleanses himself of the modes of passion and ignorance by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Introduced by Lord Chaitanya. The Kumaras were cognizant of their situation, modes of passion and ignorance, because although in Vaikuntha, they wanted to curse devotees of the Lord, they are conscious of their own weakness. They prayed to the Lord to remove their still existing passion and ignorance. The three transcendental qualifications, cleanliness, austerity, and mercy, are the qualification of the twice born and the demigods. Those who are not situated in the quality of goodness cannot accept these three principles of spiritual culture. For the Krishna consciousness movement, therefore, there are three sinful activities which are prohibited: illicit sex, intoxication, and eating anything other than prasada, food offered to Krishna. These three prohibitions are based on the principles of austerity, cleanliness, and mercy. Devotees are merciful because they spare the poor animals. They are clean because they are free from contamination from unwanted stuff and unwanted habits. Austerity is represented by restricted sex life. These principles indicated by the prayers of the four Kumaras should be followed by the devotees engaged in Krishna consciousness. Om Ajnanatmyasya Jnananjanashalakaya Shurmalitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namo Sri Chaitanya Manobhustam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Savadhutam Parajana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Dev Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Visakha Vitamsha Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavane Shri Vishabhanusuti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpataru Vaschakupa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitya Prabha Balabhadra Subhadra. So thank you so much for joining of Srimad Bhagavatam discussion on the mornings from 6:30 to 30 to Friday. So here in this verse, which is from the topic or chapter, the doorkeepers of Vaikuntha Jaya and Vijaya, by sages. So in this verse, the four sages, the four Kumaras, are speaking to Nara and Vaikuntha in this context, that they are feeling very sad that they had to use curse words to invoke some element of hurling abuses to Jaya Vijay, the two gatekeepers. And in this situation, when the scuffle broke out and Lord came out and they turned themselves and transformed themselves. And so these are the verses which are following Lord's discussion with the four Kumaras. And in this verse, the four Kumaras or the four sages are mentioning by glorifying the Lord. So here there are three things the four Kumaras are explaining. So essentially, here it starts with Bhagavatam. That means whatever Lord does is dharma. So what is dharma? When we discussed about some of the principles, what is religiosity and how do we derive spiritualism from religiosity? That is one thing which is spoken here. And we're going to discuss a little bit about that. Because it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Dharmat Sakshat Bhagavat Pranita. That means whatever Lord does, that is dharma. And Lord's actions are essentially dharma. We cannot rationalize the fact that Lord once upon a time was stealing butter and he has to be used his the ability to speak right and wrong to that action of the Lord, stealing butter or taking Rukmini Maharani in the context of our understanding of what is right and wrong, and what is good, what is bad. So Lord is the personification of religion. So when we talk about dharma, we have to understand that dharma to sakshat bhagavat pranita. That means whatever Lord says, does, speaks, leads the life, that is dharma. The second thing which the Kumaras are explaining to the Lord appears in manifested form in three yugas. So there are yugas, Satya, Treta, and Kali. But Lord is mentioned in this verse to be manifesting in three yugas. So the question comes, did Lord manifest in the fourth yuga, which is the Kali Yuga? So that is something we're going to discuss today, which is essentially Srila Prabhupada has given a lot of light. And the third thing, in the third and fourth line of the word, Lord is saying, the four Kumaras is saying that we have done a mistake. We have agreed on our mistake. We have also agreed that you will cut your hand and give it to us in spite of there is no fault of yours. You are taking ownership of a subordinate of yours who has a mistake. But we are filled with the guna and tamaguna. The Kumaras, some of the greatest saintly persons we can ever think of and take inspiration from, they themselves saying they are seeking blessings from the Supreme Personality of Godhead to drive away passion and ignorance from them. So here, the four Kumaras are saying Nunam, they are so fallen that they are filled with Rajas Tamascha. In the third, you can see that the four Kumaras are saying, we are filled with Rajoguna and Tamoguna. The Kumaras were filled with Jnana, and now they're transforming themselves to Bhakti Yogis. They are saying, please do Kripa to me, please do mercy to me, that because of your mercy, we can destroy this passion and ignorance. So wonderful topic to really ponder on this auspicious day of Ganesh Chaturthi. What is dharma? Why Lord is referred as to have manifested in three yuga, and what way Lord is coming out in Kali Yuga, which Prabhupada goes on to say that Lord comes to Kali Yuga as Channa avatar. As Channa means as hidden, as covered avatar. And the third thing is our ability or our praying mercy or kripa to drive passion and ignorance from us, which we all should pray. So here we have to understand what is dharma. So Yamraj is instructed to his messengers that dharma sakshat bhagavat pranita. So whenever somebody is called out, where at the time of death, Yamaraj mentions that this concept of dharma, what all of us understand, dharma in this age, where in New Jersey certain rules in driving, but when you go to different state, it varies little. But under the auspices of Supreme Personality of Godhead, the dharma or the ability to dictate and decide what right and wrong is driven by Lord's pure activity, understanding, and that can only be understood by Guru Shastra. We cannot rationalize Lord's activities in so many different thought process. Upcoming Radha is coming. The place of Srimati Radharani is very misunderstood in the context of the material relationship. But Radharani is the topmost devotee of the Lord, and Lord loves Srimati Radharani the most, and also to his devotees. But we can only understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his action as dharma. Dharma Shat Bhagavat Pranita. So with that said, anything Lord does is dharma. anything we try to make up ourselves to create some rules and regulation, it is not dharma. So and that is why Sridhar Swami, who has been quoted by Srila Prabhupada. Sridhar Swami was born in the 14th century near Remuna in Odisha, near Kilochara Gopinath Dham near Odisha. And Sridhar Swami's uh, texts, the translations are very much quoted by Srila Prabhupada in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Bhagavad Gita. So in this verse, Srila Prabhupada is Sridhar Swami. Second, Sridhar Swami describes three yuga. Yuga means and three means three. The Lord is manifested as three couples by his opulences. So three couples is six. So Sridhar Swami explains that Lord is expressing his six opulences: strength, fame, wealth, beauty, knowledge, and appreciation. The six opulences which Prabhupada is quoting from Sridhar Swami, who was actually appeared in this material world before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he has written some beautiful commentaries. Who was born near Ramuna, 20 kilometers from Ramuna in Odisha, before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And here Srila Prabhupada is being quoted that Sridhar Swami is explaining that this three yuga refers to the six opulences of the, which is why he is called Bhagavan. He is full of strength, that's why he is Balavan. He's full of fame, that's why he is Yashavan. Full of wealth, he is Dhanavan. He's full of knowledge, that means he is Jnanavan. And he's full of beauty, that's why he is Rupavan. And then when all this comes, the renunciation never comes. But Lord, in having this five, has renunciation, and this is why he's called Tyagavan. So he has all the six qualities, six opulences in full 100%. Not that he is Rupavan, he is 89%, and his strength is 56%. It's not like that. He is the epitome of beauty, he is the epitome of strength, and he has all the six qualities. So Sridhar Swami explaining this three yuga is referring to three couples. So, and as this progress from Satya to Treta to Dwapar, there is a decline of dharma. That means if we have four dharma based on which the pillars of dharma is standing, we have austerity, compassion, cleanliness, and truthfulness. Only to some degree, truthfulness is prevailing in Kali Yuga. And when Parikshit Maharaj grew up and became, one day he was taking a walk around the kingdom, he found a bull and a cow on the way. The bull was the personification of dharma, and the cow was Bhumi Devi. And as he was approaching them, king saw them. There are people who are hurting bull and cow very badly, and the bull's leg was broken. When asked them for the reason, the bull started talking, and the bull said he has been there, because he is dharma personified. And in Satya Yuga, he had all the four legs. In Treta, he lost austerity, and then he stood three legs. By Dwapar Yuga, situation has become bad, and he lost one more leg, mercy and compassion, and stood in two legs. And now Kali Yuga, the cleanliness is missing, and the dharma is standing in just one leg, which is the leg of truthfulness. To some degree, there's a lot of untruthful activities which are going on, but somehow there is this little truth. That's why we are all surviving. There is some interaction, there is some law, and there are good people in this universe because of which this world is existing. So now in Kali Yuga, there is just one culture, some aspect of truthfulness. Other cultures are missing. So Srila goes on to explain a lot about austerity, compassion, cleanliness in this purport. So Lord mentioned so many principles in Bhagavad Gita. He established a lot of principles, and he clarified twice. He repeated Manmana Bhavamat Bhakto Madhya Namaskuru. The first line of he repeated in 9.34 and 18.65. Same Manmana Bhavamat Bhakto Madhya Jivam Namaskuru. He kind of repeated exactly the same. Think of me, become my devotee, pay obeisances to me. And then also he laid out principles that, when you're thirsty and you're drinking, I am the taste of water. The ability to really quench your thirst comes from me. The sun and moon light, they come from me. The Om syllable come mantras, which is the first mantra we recite, comes from me. And so the principles were well laid out by Bhagavad Gita. But how to apply that couldn't do in Dwapar Yuga, because there is a lot to explain. Because sometimes what happens, and Srila Prabhupada has mentioned it in one place, and it has been quoted. So when Srila Prabhupada was getting old, he was serving, and sometimes the devotees or the disciples of Prabhupada would be massaging Srila Prabhupada, and when Srila Prabhupada is not very comfortable with how the massaging was done, Srila Prabhupada would say, just wait, let me tell you how to massage. So he will go on and massage the devotee. And he said, this is how you end up massaging me. So when Srila Prabhupada end up doing that, it doesn't mean that Srila Prabhupada is massaging his devotees. It means that how to apply the principle of massaging, he is basically teaching. So in this action, devotees and disciples of Srila Prabhupada are massaging him. And then when it is not proper, Srila Prabhupada reappears 5 minutes later to massage them. So this is a very important concept. We all have to recognize that in the manifested form, in the three yugas, Lord came in various different forms. Lord came as fish, Lord came as half lion, half man. Lord came as a boar. Lord came in various different forms. In yugas, Lord came as a simple person. But in a situation which needs compelling acts, and when the spiritual culture is very much in decline, the austerity is gone, the cleanliness is gone, the compassion is gone, then Lord has to come in a hidden avatar as Channa avatar, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And exactly like how Srila Prabhupada used to massage his devotees, tell them, this is how you massage me. Exactly that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu want to come as a devotee to tell all of us the benefits of being a devotee, the benefits of doing devotional service, the benefits, because in this age when the surroundings are tremendously polluted, as we just discussed in the reference to Triyuga, when the pollution is up the peak, the only way you could express yourself and get connected with the Supreme is the path of devotional service. And for that, Lord to come with us, teach us how to be a devotee. And that 48 years of Lord's manifestation in this age of Kali in the 15th century truly defined our way of understanding, our way of interacting, the way of offering ourselves to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the principles were established in Bhagavad Gita. All where there is manmana madhyajivan was twice, right in the middle of Bhagavad Gita, when people are probably falling asleep of Bhagavad Gita, right in the middle, and towards the end when Bhagavad Gita is ending, in the giving a perfect view of why you think of me, why you should become a devotee. And also there are many principles. I am this vibhuti of the Lord is explained, so many principles. But to provide that element of application, Lord had to come exactly like Srila Prabhupada used to massage his devotees, to tell them this is how you would end up massaging. But in the context of that little 2 minute when Srila Prabhupada is massaging the devotee, if someone has that high knowledge and looks at the complete picture, he will get a totally different view. So principles were established for yoga, and also many other yogas, and because and goes on to say to Arjuna that I'm telling this Bhagavad Gita to you, but I've told this to millions and millions of years ago to Maniksha, so many other personalities, which was broken in tradition. So the principles are established many, 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 many times, but it has been broken many, 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 many times. So the indication of how to the Lord had to come and appear Channa avatar, and Channa avatar reference is there in the discussion between Prahlad Maharaj and Nrsimhadev after Hiranyakashipu's killing. Prahlad Maharaj is pacifying Lord Nrsimhadev with prayers, and there it is mentioned, Channa kalau yat advas triyuga sta. In the age of Kali, however, you do not assert yourself as Supreme Personality of Godhead, but in the age of Kali, you will come as Channa. You will come as a hidden incarnation of the Lord. And also, in another Srimad Bhagavatam, Muni is concluding his teaching to Vasudeva, like saying, Krishna Varnam Krishnam Sangha Parshada Yagnehi Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Mehi Sumedasa. That means in subsequent generation, in the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting of worship, the incarnation of God, who constantly sings the name of Krishna, and that is Chaitanya Prabhu. Although his complexion is not blackish, Krishna Varnam, he is Krishna, but his color is not black. Tvisha Krishna. That means he is Krishna himself, but he doesn't look as if he has the same color as Krishna, and he comes with entourage of devotees and servants, and that's how he ends up. So there is, and also Prabhupada goes on to say that there is an attached culture, the spiritual culture, which was prevalent and which was on the decline, austerity, cleanliness, and mercy, and that is why Lord is called in this way. So the culture of the Yuga is also referred here. So and in doing so, the four Kumar are also seeking mercy. That even if looking from outside, Kumaras are so knowledgeable, but in spite of all of that, they are actually seeking mercy, because the Rajaguna and Tamaguna can only be curtailed by Satyaguna, and Kumaras are seeking that these two, Tamoguna and Rajaguna, because of which we heard or used curse words at Nija, we have control in ourselves so that we never end up offending others. So there's a lot to cover I wanted to talk about, but we are getting close to 7. But beautiful words ponder on this day of Ganesh Chaturthi, so that we wish that you have less obstacles, and obstacles are cleared by the Supreme Personality of His mercy and His devotee, Lord Ganesh. With that, I'd like to end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Jagannath Prabhu. We'd like to wish you all a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. We'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting 3 times Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh.
Jalantam Sarvatom
Narsingam Vishnam Bhadram Mityam Namami Narsingh Bhagwan ki jai. Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Mancha kalpatarupayasya kripa sindhu vacha
Patitanam
Pavane Bhayo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki
jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Hari. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Hema Jagannath
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare